Good afternoon, folks. Matt Griffin here, the Smile Mentor, and welcome back to the mentor community. Today's video is a little bit of a special one. I guess they all are, but today is pretty cool. Sean O'Shea is one of our, legitimately good friends now. Sean was a patient for a clinic that I worked for on helping do their marketing and that kind of stuff. And so we did some interviews on him. And this patient, Sean, actually flew from Colorado back to Dallas. Now, granted, he was from Dallas, but flew back here to get the dental work done by the clinic I was working for. And so I thought, man, what a great story, right? Like, let's go out to Colorado. He lives in Colorado Springs, and let's film him. Let's get him there. Let's see him doing life with his teeth. And so Sean, we spent a week out there. So, we filmed a lot of different locations. And so through that, really got to know him, got to know his family, got to know his career, friends. We got to meet his friends. So, really, we got to engage in his life. And so one of the reasons I wanted to ask him on was to share, because he's a no nonsense and he's practical, but he also is strong enough to share some of the embarrassment and shame, or at least he did in some of the testimonial work we did. And so I think you're gonna really like Sean and hear some of the questions that his friends had. He talks about the different materials and why that was important, the healing process, what questions to ask. So hopefully you guys enjoy Sean here, and for all the faithful followers of the Smile Mentor, thank you. Again, I know I say this at the end, but I really do thank you for this. And if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Those of you new, check out the description below and it answers all your questions about what is the Smile Mentor if you're new to us. So, but we do welcome you if you are. So thank you guys, appreciate it, and have a blessed day. Going from the oil and gas business to this, what a change, right?
Yeah, I'm amazed how well you know this. Just listening to you and watching you is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I know there had been a lot of hard study in there, big learning curve.
Yeah. And really a gift of having the mentorship. You know, there was multiple clinicians and people that were willing to teach me, take the time to teach me, because you know, I'm a pain in the butt patient. Like, really, like I don't like the dentist. That's one other thing we share is all the money we've wasted on dental work, right? And we both share the same dentist with Iskander, and that's how we met, Dr. Iskander. But you know, I'm grateful for what I've been taught. But one of the things that I've really noticed, because I had to go through this process with my mom on doing the due diligence for her, right, and I have access to all these people and knowledge and wisdom, and I thought, okay, now it's my turn up to bat. That was a shock, but now it's my turn. And I thought, I kind of owe it. It was a gift, I think, from God to be able to go through all of this, take all this, and now assemble it into one place to really help the patients out there avoid those scammy dentists, right?
Well, and that, you know, if you're open to God, He's merciful to you, but then He uses you to help other people. You know, it's been really neat to watch in your life for sure.
Thank you. And what a journey. You know, one of the gifts of this that didn't expect were the friendships that I would make. Like after this, I'm going to go visit with Jen Lawson, who is one of the other videos, the one zip lining. I don't know if you ever saw that video. But
I just watched mine. I was amazed when I saw it. He goes, have you not seen it? And I go, no. I said, I never watched it until I started getting calls. And then I clicked on it and watched it. I go, wow, man, he did a great job. It's really, you did. It was, and I go, no wonder my friends are calling me. People I hadn't talked to in 20 years, man. Hey, is this Sean O'Shea? Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I looked you up on Facebook. are you on a commercial in Dallas? I go, I am.
Surprisingly
Surprise.
so. We had a fun time on that shoot, didn't we?
Oh yeah, you guys coming out to Colorado was so cool.
I mean, that was a lot of, and it was multiple days, and you guys were so gracious to us to host and have fun.
Absolutely, yeah.
And got to meet some of y'all's friends. Did you see some of those dinner shots?
Oh yeah,
those were.
Well, that
so
girl
good.
still is going to end up getting work done. She has the same fears I had. You know, I mean, all her front teeth are good, and she just doesn't have her back teeth. And she's like, you know, I want to hold on to these teeth. I fought so hard to hold on to them, you know, and I keep telling her, you know, they're going to keep decaying. They're going to keep falling apart. You're going to still have to get cavities and fillings. Just get them all done, just like a Band-Aid, just all at once, you know. Because I was afraid I was going to feel the appliance in my mouth. I don't even know it's there anymore. First week or so, I knew, you know, that I had the appliances, but I mean, I don't notice it at all anymore. What I do notice is I can chomp on food, and people compliment me on my smile, and you know.
You still get a lot of compliments.
Oh, every week. You got a beautiful smile. You got beautiful teeth, and who's your dentist? And I go, oh man, my dentist is in Dallas, but he's worth the flight. You know, that's what I tell him. He's worth the flight. So Dan's wife, he was at dinner with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she is going to do it. He does a lot of business here. So he goes, she's nervous about it. And every time I see her, I say the one thing you don't need to be is nervous. It's almost 100% painless. Doctor's got great bedside manners. You'll end up becoming his friend. I did, you know, and I've never become friends with any doctor. They're like on to the next patient, you know. And now when I leave, you know, I try to shake his hand. He always hugs me, you know. He cares about his patients, or me. I know he does, you know. So, and that just when you pick that up from a doctor that they really care, your trust level just goes through the roof.
Through
you know?
the roof.
Instead of just being, you know, I'm trying to get him
payment.
out of the chair and somebody else in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and you're not just an ends to a means
right,
to make them rich.
Right. Yep.
And that, you know, we talked about some of the doctors I've worked across with the country. I mean, I got pretty discouraged with the dental side just because most of them have a God complex pretty big.
Yeah.
And they think that they are so much smarter than you, and that you know, they almost use shame, you know. I mean, think about some of those appointments where they come in and they try to almost shame you into some of that. I can't get so frustrated.
Well, remember, I told you this guy gave me root canals I never needed, and he didn't cap any of them, and he billed them to the insurance company. That's why I lost all my back teeth. He billed the insurance company for caps and root canals. I didn't need the root canals. He never gave me the caps. So when I went to get my teeth cleaned, once I moved out to Colorado, this military dentist said, why didn't you get these caps? They're all broke. They all have to be pulled. And I just went, I just followed, you know, I just did what the dentist said. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So.
You know, again, getting back to, you've gone through this process. I've interviewed a lot of times, you, of course, and all across the country. I've sat in the chair where I'm talking to somebody else, asking them about their experience, and now it's my turn. So I thought, okay, number one, what questions do I have? What if I want, you know, the Bible says with the abundance of counselors, there's victory. So, okay, who's been through this and who's done this well? Well, right. I mean, you're at the top of that list. And so, okay, let me phrase it this way. What do you wish you knew then that you know now?
Okay,
before you did it?
I'll tell you what my fears were going in.
Okay.
So after I'd had all these teeth pulled because of the crooked dentist that billed the insurance company for crowns and root canals I never got. Root canals I got, didn't need. Crowns I didn't get, didn't need. I was just afraid of getting another crooked dentist was number one. Number two, I wanted to hold on to the teeth that I still had. I mean, they're part of me, you know. And number three, I thought, you know, I don't want to fill an appliance. You know, so I was afraid of pain, filling an appliance, getting messed over again. And now looking back, I mean, you know after your first appointment with him that you're not just a patient to him, you're not a number, that he truly cares about what he's doing and changing your life. More than any doctor I've ever been in front of, he portrays that, and he means it. It's like I told you earlier. Now when I leave his office, I try and shake his hand. He hugs me, and we become friends. We go out to dinner when I come to Dallas. And you're always invited. As far as feeling the appliance, for the first week maybe, but I don't even know they're in now. And keeping these teeth, I wanted to keep my upper and lower teeth because I'd worked so hard to keep them. And his argument was, you're going to still have decay on these. You're going to still have to, have dental work done to them over the years. Your bite's going to be more whole, smoother. And so that was a huge fear, is letting go of what I'd fought to hold on to. Right. Thank God I listened. I'm just so much happier. I don't have to keep whitening these to make sure they match my molars.
It's a great point.
Everything is, I go in once a year, have them cleaned. I was also worried about pain, and there's just, I'm amazed with how much surgery takes place when you do this.
It's invasive.
And all I remember is counting back from 10 to 0. Next thing I woke up and I got beautiful teeth. There was just no pain. I was worried about, pain over the next couple of days. I had little to no pain at all. And to maintain these is a water pick and a toothbrush and super easy,
And this is going to be a great example for Dan's wife. What I love about this is she's one of the key targets on why I'm doing this. So somebody who's scared, she doesn't know, and yet if there's a place she can go to and research all this. So I know you've had some conversations with her. What questions, if you were going into a consultation again, to have it all done over again, what questions would you make sure you ask the doctor?
Why, I've got 12 good teeth left. Why should I remove those? What's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah.
And it was a better bite, no maintenance on those teeth, no drilling on those teeth. It's just going to be a more seamless product. And that was hard for me to let go because I tried to work so hard on keeping these teeth.
Mm-hmm.
But if you find a doctor you trust, listen to what they say, because I can't tell you, that was the hardest part of my decision, was letting go of my uppers and lower front teeth. And I don't have an ounce of regret, not an ounce. I'm so happy I listened to it.
Because I'm worried about that too. I got some good ones left.
Just get it done, man.
I am.
Because the good ones left are not as good as the ones you're going to get. The ones you're going to get are better than the good ones you have left. I promise you. And he asked me about the bite. What can I eat? I have so much joy that I can chomp on anything. I don't care if it's a nut, a steak, ice. I used to love chewing ice, man. I just, I love my mouth. I love my bite. Yep.
And does it ever feel unstable? Like, how if all of a sudden, you got to replace something in a home and it doesn't have a good foundation, it has a little rock to it. Do you ever feel that at all?
So, no. There was on my bottom, there was a tiny bit of rocking, but it wasn't enough to bother me. And he goes, really, there's a bump on your bottom bone. It's causing it not to seep properly. Right. I'm going to take care of that for you. And he did. Nothing moves now. Right. It is, I can't tell that I've had anything done to my mouth. I don't notice the appliances anymore.
That's awesome.
It's just, yeah. The only way I know that I've had something done to my mouth now, the only way I even think about it, is when I smile, because I know I got a big, bright, beautiful smile, I don't have to, I used to half smile because you
didn't want it to show.
Right.
And for me, let's see here, from here back now, this whole 5-unit bridge is what broke. And so now I'm having to every night glue it, or every morning glue it on with Fix-A-Dent until I have the surgery.
Hey
so.
man, I had one of mine chipped, not dentures, real teeth, and I was using dental glue to glue the piece of tooth back on. I've been through it all, you know, just so that I have a smile when I'm in front of people, you know.
Right, because you're always people facing like I am,
yep.
and so like you got to be, and as much as I don't care right or wrong. I mean, it's sad, but right or wrong, so you get two exact people next to each other. One smiles with pretty teeth, one smiles missing some. It just has an effect.
It does.
It doesn't. Right or wrong doesn't, and it's so bad that you can almost judge the person for that. And
well, it's not really judging. It's slightly judging. Your instant think is this person takes better care of themselves.
Right.
So they take better care of their life. So they take better care of their business.
Right.
And that may not be any rub against the other guy. He may not be able to afford to take care of himself, which is another thing that I was afraid of is cost. And I was $15,000 cheaper flying to Dallas than I was in Colorado Springs. And it's very affordable.
Yeah.
And
when you look at the long term, you know, that's one of the things I've tried to look at. Like, okay, how much is a dang root canal? How much are crowns? How much are, and you start totaling all that up. I mean,
you might as well just get it done. It might have cost me $25,000, $30,000 just to keep these over the next 25 years.
Right.
And instead, I've got a whole perfect mouth of teeth that I truly don't know I ever had anything done. I don't know they're in anymore. They're completely invisible to me.
Have you seen when we filmed that commercial out in Colorado Springs with you? There's a shot where when we were in it's Garden of the Gods, right?
Yep.
Where we were there and you and Terry and we got a shot of you smiling that was just iconic. It was so good. You need to watch these. I'm going to send these videos to you again.
Okay.
It's funny you never really watched them because you did great. I mean, you looked so good in them.
I finally watched them after I started getting phone calls from people. I thought I was going to be on this little thumbnail web deal, and people started calling me, "Hey, dude, are you in a commercial?" And after they said that, they said, "You probably don't remember me. I went to high school with you. I looked you up on Facebook." And I go, "Yeah, I remember you. And yeah, I am on a commercial. I guess I am on a commercial. I'm going to call my dentist." And I called and he goes, "Yeah, you're being seen 800 times a day in the Metroplex." I go, "All right, I'm a local celebrity now."
You are. And you know, it's funny, Katya, she came from Luxembourg, Europe, to come get her teeth done.
Yeah.
Flew here.
It's worth it.
And when we also did another commercial with her, and so she flew here for her final delivery. She had that week. She was here for multiple back-to-back appointments. And so when I first met her, she goes, "You sure your name's not Sean?" And I said, she goes, "You're on all the videos, right?" And I said, she goes, "And like somewhere else in the country?" And I said, "No, that's Sean O'Shea." She goes, "That's you." And I said, "No, that's Sean." And I showed her. She goes, "You guys look a lot alike."
Yeah,
I was like, that's a good compliment.
I've had somebody else tell me that I don't remember who that met you when you were in Dallas.
Yeah.
I think it was Dan. He goes, "Man, guy looks like he could be your brother."
Yeah, isn't that funny? And now even more so.
Yeah.
Now even more so.
Now we're both going to have perfect smiles.
That's right. That's right. And our wives are lucky ladies, right?
That's right. I tell my wife that every day. You're so lucky. I'm the lucky one.
Amen. We're the blessed ones.
No doubt.
But you know, I guess you're telling for example, you're telling your friend's wife who's wanting to go through this surgery, you're telling her, number one, trust your dentist. Even though you might want to hang on.
Find a dentist you trust.
How do you do that? Because I mean, there's going to be so many people watching this going, "Yeah, okay, easier said than done."
I'll tell you how I did it. A lot of dentists, a lot of doctors kind of have, like you said, the God complex. And they have a very sterile bedside manner.
Right.
Nothing sterile about it. It was warm, it was inviting. And everybody's got, you know, an intuitiveness to him, right? And I just felt, because of how friendly he was, how genuine he was, it made me trust him enough to go ahead and take his advice to pull them all out and go with it. And so you got to find a dentist you trust. If you need to, pray on it, you know. But I left my consultation with him completely comfortable. And I told Terry, I said, do you get what I get? I really trust this guy. I mean, he seems so genuine. And she goes, yeah, I do too. He seems like a really nice guy. So every doctor I've ever met is very sterile, very quick, very bedside. Let's go, let's go. And he wasn't. He was very personable, took his time to listen. You know, find a doctor that listens instead of talks to you, that listens to you, ask questions. You want to know what my concerns were. What are you afraid of? What can I explain to you?
It's a great point.
Yeah.
It's a great point where they're engaging. You know, that's going to be something that you really want to take care of. I think Sean just brought up a fantastic point in that when a doctor only wants to talk to you
or talk at you,
be nervous. And instead, who are those that really engage you and want to know, why are you there? What are your goals? What do you hope to achieve? What are your fears?
Right.
How can they make this process not only less painful, but also get more confident for you by answering the questions you have? Don't be scared to ask questions, and do not let their education or their ego scare you away. If you have a question, you don't feel like it's been answered.
Them.
That's it. They're
working
for you.
And I learned when I was in sales, I never wanted to be a salesperson because lots of salespeople don't care about anything but selling. So when I got into consultative sales, and it tells you how to be the doctor, find out what truly the problem is,
diagnose,
and then solve that problem for your customer, you'll have a happy customer for life. Same situation with a doctor.
Yeah.
So find a doctor that knows that you're a human being, wants to hear your fears, your concerns, your goals, and that's really willing to listen. That's the doctor that you trust. And then when you find that doctor, do what he suggests, because if I would have done what I wanted, I would have 4 bridges and I'd still be having to work on these teeth, still having to keep whitening these teeth. And he told me I would be much happier if I did my whole mouth, and I can't tell you how happy I am.
Let me give you, number one, a disclaimer. I'm paying for this surgery. And nobody is paying us to do this work. This is not a commercial for anybody. This is truly meant to be for patients out there. I promise you, I'm not getting paid for this, and I promise you that the only motive behind this is to make a more educated, confident patient to make this decision, because it is truly life-changing.
And to help them find the right dentist.
That's right. And so you might not have the ability to go to Dallas, and you've got there are other great clinicians around this country, and I have met some of them, and I believe in some of them. I just again wanted to throw that disclaimer out there, but you know, the life-changing side of this, how big?
It's huge. I had slight depression because I'm a jovial, happy person, but I couldn't smile. I couldn't chew in the back of my mouth. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to afford it. And all my fears were pushed aside and all my dreams came true. It's helped me in my business. I smile bigger. I walk with more confidence. It's uplifted my whole life. My life in my relationships, my personal relationships, my business relationships. I'm healthier. I don't have to worry about heart disease or bone loss or any of those things, because I found the right doctor. He got me past my fears, and he made my life wonderful.
That's so, I mean, that encourages me. Like, I'm excited about it, because you talk about the depression. I mean, God, the last few weeks when that happened and this knocked out, and now you look in that mirror and you see that look that you're going, I don't look like who I am. You know, and that depression
all you do is call me. I ought to talk to you off the ledge.
I mean, that depression's real.
It is.
It is so real, and that's what I think every patient out there that's either looking to go through it or has gone through it can say amen, because it is just so real. Your confidence and depression. I laugh a lot now. I was scared of, is this gonna fall out when I laugh hard? Or, you know, and so I thought of you a lot.
Especially when I was single, you know? I was like, once I meet somebody, they're not gonna know because I don't smile big. But after we're in the relationship, are they gonna leave me because I'm toothless in back, you know? I mean, they're probably petty, stupid fears if you say them out loud, but they're real inside your head.
Yeah, they're
you know?
real.
So, yep.
Yeah. Well, Sean, you have been one of the gifts on this journey that God's taken us on. And so I know you were in town and just very fortuitous for us to be able to meet, but while you were here before my surgery, because it really does help me out. It gives me more excitement. It gives me just more hope. It alleviates some of those, exactly what you're talking about, going, gosh, I got some good teeth left. What do I, but that's.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a joy to do this. You and your crew make everything so not just comfortable, you make it enjoyable and fun, and you just add to the pleasure of the whole experience.
Thank you. What was that? Speaking of, I mean, you know, so for anybody out there who doesn't know, we got to spend a week in Colorado Springs with Sean and Terry and some of their friends. We got to meet their friends too, and so we hiked. We went to dinner. We did a bunch of stuff.
When you said you were coming out for a week, I was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do with a whole week? And you guys, you turned it into like a vacation for a week. You know, I'd work half a day and then meet you for a hike, and we got to go to 2 fabulous restaurants and have dinner on you guys. That was wonderful. You know, so. It was, you know, you've made it fun, enjoyable. You even actually sitting with you guys has also added to, you know, bringing calmness and peace. Very professional job, wonderful to work with.
Did you like the finished work of seeing yourself on camera? Because that's always
I was. So, like I said, my company's real busy, and I just never even, I got my mouth, I went home, and for some reason I got busy and I never even looked at it. I thought it was going to be a little thumbnail deal on a web page, and then I started getting all these phone calls. So I called her, I go, am I part of a commercial? He goes, oh yeah, you're being seen 800 times a day in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I go, far out, you know, and so I said, I got to see this.
Yeah.
And I logged on, I saw it, and I go, wow, Matt hit this one freaking out of the park. Yeah. It's just beautiful work. You're really good at what you do. That's why I was so amazed, because I know you come out of oil and gas. Yeah. And to be able to transfer your talents and learn the learning curve of what this must have been, and to be able to do it so seamlessly and professionally, you're definitely a gifted individual.
Thank you. And on a side note, I'm grateful to be in the seat building the relationship of my team, like Dan and Austin and everybody that's on our team helps make this a reality. So really, I mean, I'm blessed by who I'm surrounded by. I mean, that's what makes me look like I can do it well, because I got the right team around me and good guys.
It's all about support, isn't it?
Really is, really is. And we got good women for our support.
That's right.
We're blessed men, aren't we?
We are.
Sean, seriously, thank you for doing this.
I know. We appreciate you guys.
I love you, man.
Love you too.
I really do, and I appreciate you carving this time out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when we'll be back in a couple of months for another appointment. I want to. I had surgery this time, so we'll all go out to dinner.
Please, because Jen is dying to meet Terry.
Oh yeah, I'll bring her.
It would be fun, and even if you come out solo, we'll go do dinner. But
I'll bring Terry.
Yeah, she'd love to meet her.
Yep.
Cool, man. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
Appreciate it.